So I want to basically kind of take it from the top, but obviously for the people that don't know your story, I want you to start, with your journey, the early years, entering the Marine. Like, talk to the people. How did that?
Oh man,
you can break it down. We ain't gonna do it big,
Yeah, like I said, I started boxing late. I started boxing. I was like 15 years old. Comparing, others in the amateur system, like kids started like 6, 7, 8 years old. Before they competing. But I was a fast learner. Like my very first loss going back that far was my boy Danny Jacobs. So that tells you how way back then. Me like Danny and those guys who came up around that era. We all came up around each other, especially in New York. But like I say, a couple of years later, I had already enlisted into the Marine Corps. So I would say, honestly, the bulk of my amateur experience in terms of getting to the Olympics and so on and winning national championships came while I was in the Marine Corps, that's why I was giving, a lot of respect and praise to the Marine Corps in my own career.
Starting boxing late, you didn't play any other sports?
No, I played football. Football was actually my first sport. Like I said, I started when I was like 10 years old. So like football was definitely my first sport that I tried. I was a receiver, running back, defensive end, and, safety. So yeah, like I said, I played football a lot up until like high school because for my frame, I wasn't bulking up like that. So that's when I started playing other things like basketball. I did track and field and so on. So mainly a lot of sports that kept me athletic.
So like, I need your top 5 pound for pound. I know that's always in a thing for fighters, but I need your top 5 pound for pound right now.
Yeah. I gotta put NOA on. I'm put the guys like saying that don't get the most respect at times. Like you gotta put the guys that's like NOA who's undisputed, Jamel Charlo, Devin Haney. You gotta put them up there. Of course, Bud Crawford. I even throw a guy like Bevo up there, you know what I'm saying? But then you got like Errol Spence, and so I can go on on and so on and so on. There's a lot of names I can pick, but like those just fight not even in certain order, but like just certain fighters that have done spectacle things in terms of like I don't care what you say, especially in this day of boxing, it's still hard to try to negotiate to get every belt out there and stay motivated on trying to do it and accomplishing it. So you gotta give those guys those credit because at the end of the day, they're still stepping up to fight the better competition instead of the guys like you have who are belt holders, but they find guys that you don't really care to see. But they may be popular and they may sell tickets, so it doesn't matter.
So talk to me. The best 3 moments of your career that you can never forget that you'll tell the kids that to this day you think about it and you think to yourself like I did that. That was me. What were the 3 moments?
I said my best 3 was my pro debut. My pro debut. That was actually on the same day that Pacquiao had lost to Marquez. It was the same day, but it was on the Golden Boy card. Back in December 2012. So my pro debut, my title win against Masahiko Ito. And then my knockout win against Carl Frampton.
Are you a fighter that you like being on the road, or you prefer to be on the stage? So you'll fight anywhere as long as everything is right.
No, I'll fight anywhere as long as it's right. That's just me. That's just come from basically being a Marine. Like I've been there. I've traveled everywhere around the world, especially whether it was for battle or competition. I've been everywhere. So I mean, as long as everything is right and fair, I don't really care what the fight's at.
All right. So obviously, in your last fight, it wasn't the outcome you expected. Did you or were you retiring? Because they say usually fighters they retire mentally before they do actually physically. So whether you won or lost that fight, do you think you were going to retire regardless?
Nah, I don't think so. But I think a lot of things playing up to it was like on my conscience. Especially like I said when I said earlier about getting my body right, I was dealing every fighter deals with a lot. Every fighter deals with aches and pains or whatever in the quiet. So like I said, I won my first world title. And when I fought Ito, I was having little aches and little pains from overthrowing my jab. in that fight. That's why if you go look at that fight, I say around like what 5, 6, 7. Those rounds I started slowing down my jab, but I think it was at the point when shout out to Jermaine, but when we was toe to toe and I couldn't keep up. You know what I mean? I couldn't keep up at times. I was just getting outworked, and I was just like, okay, you know, it wasn't so much like I felt like I was in pain and things. Just like, man, like my body is not reacting the way I wanted to react. So I was like, you know, maybe it's time to really, if I do even if I do squeeze out a win, you know, maybe I'm still like it's still maybe with time to still at least have a way to go get checked out. You know what I mean? Go get checked out because you know a lot of fighters really like say you see the Lomachenko and fighters in the past, Pacquiao, whatever. We all go through it. Especially I don't know what it is about southpaws for one, but I just named all like number of southpaws. But like we all go through those little aches and pains, no excuses. Like I said, a lot of fighters they fight through it because like I said, I fought through a lot as well. But I just thought like you know in terms of my family, everybody was like maybe you need to really back away and then just get looked at it. So like for the past months, as you know, so I've been trying to get like MRI. I've been getting MRIs and everything done. And it's actually, you know, so I'm actually getting better after, you know, certain procedures, but it was a lot more if my body was able to keep up, will continue fighting more than like, you know, I didn't want to fight anymore. Like I you know, I still want to fight. I love the sport, but it was more of like my body it wasn't reacting. Maybe, you know, should I get checked out or still really just step away from it if I can't, you know, if I can't heal from it.
So last time we spoke, you were at if I'm not mistaken, you said 60-70%. Your last fight was at 135. You've been at 130 for the majority of your career. You're gonna jump into the 135 pool when you come back, or you're gonna jump into the 130?
No, and I said it respectfully, and there's nothing against like not wanting to. It's just that like one man has all the belts, and there's a line. You know what I mean? There's a line. Like you're not jumping ahead of line, like, especially with these names that's already in line. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get there. So it's like I'd rather go where at least it's a little bit more open and you know more freedom at it. Which is I can still like say at 130. Like I don't. You see me out. I don't get heavy. Like it's been a minute. So I don't put on a ton of weight where I can't get back in the ring. But like yeah, but for me, 135 man, it's just too. It's tight. It's tight unless you get like unless you somebody getting like in a tank sweepstakes, you're not you know what I'm saying you're not gonna get that major payday that you really want.
What's one of the hardest or what was one of the things that you hated like during training camp to do? Like what is it a certain workout? Or just something like yo I hate this shit.
No,
it's some people don't like certain things. What was one of your things like yo I just do it because it's part of my job. But you know
what? There was a lot of workouts. My man Jimmy Belt, good strength coach, my old strength coach, he used to always have us do like this crazy workouts with Bud Crawford and them. But it was like a lot of workouts. I'm like, yo, why are we doing this, man? Like there's other substitutes for you know to work this joint, like you know work this muscle. But it was like, man, he didn't care. Like everything for him had a method. But like you know, I like it got the job done. But like, man, there's a lot of for me, it was a lot to deal with, like, you know, cardio and plyometrics. But, you know what I'm saying? In the end, it all pans out.
So do you got a tunnel vision plan? So if I'm not mistaken, you'll be, 38 this year, not to put you on blast.
On the end of the year.
End of the year. So what do you want to do? You want to rock out?
I just want to see, like I said, how my body's at. Like I said, a lot of things hit people differently. Like I'm seeing people coming back left and right. I'm like, damn, like yo, like all right, like let me see how this works out for everyone. But like I just think it's one thing. Like you just gotta know yourself. Like if it don't work out, it don't work out. It's no love lost. Like you know, I did what I did. But like if I can, you know what I'm saying, then why not? That's just me.